So, recently had another tough love lesson learned for a property that we purchased in Texas. And I think this is important for a lot of folks to realize, especially in real estate investing. We were in San Antonio about a month ago, and we pulled a list of low equity homes that would work for us in the kind of situations that we try to target. This particular property was in Pflugerville. The biggest challenge that they were facing was they actually owed $375 on this house, and they had it listed for $350. The seller was going to pay to sell their house, come out of pocket like probably 40 grand. So we knew like, oh my gosh, this could be a great opportunity. Well, we called them and we were trying to get a deal done the same day because like, hey, what kind of crazy story that would be for us to get a deal in the same day. Well, we got the agent on the phone. Of course, they were open and be like, yes, the house is available. But when we started talking about like, hey, there might be something we could structure here that could work for you and your client, we brought up subject to, and they're like, oh no, that's not gonna work for my client. It's not gonna work for me. This isn't gonna work because we've had someone else offer that and it's just not a good deal for my client. At that point in time, we could have either got like, oh, well, let me explain all this stuff to you, or we could backtrack a little bit and try to earn some trust. And that's kind of what we had to do. We would love to be like, yes, let's get the deal. Let's move. But you got to think about how that comes off to the other party because they obviously have some trust issues with this particular topic. The other person must have not explained it very well. So we knew that we had some rapport building to do. So we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit and said, look, we're actually in Austin. We love to go look at it. She let us in. We viewed it. Again, we had to figure out like, what was the biggest things keeping them from making a decision in the past? What were their biggest concerns? She was like, well, look, the seller's a little bit older. They don't want to be on the mortgage forever. When we buy a subject to property, I want to try to keep that mortgage in place for as long as possible. With this situation, the seller's like, I don't want that to happen. When I sell my house, I'd ideally like to be off the mortgage immediately. And I was like, okay, that's going to be a challenge. The next thing was people that were negotiating in the past could not have been actual real buyers because they didn't even answer the most basic questions. All the most basic stuff that we talk a lot about that you're going to have to overcome, they did not. So we took our foot off the gas a little bit, went into rapport building mode, explained the other properties that we purchased, not just in Texas, but in Arizona and Florida and North Carolina. We have all these properties. We had to build some credibility. We sent them an email with all that stuff so they can see that we're not just some average joker saying we want to buy someone's home subject to. We needed to build some trust. And that's exactly what we did. We went back, gave her everything she needed. We started to get the agent on board. And then at that point in time, when the agent was sold on it and being like, okay, now this makes a lot of sense, we're able to talk to the client. We're able to make the deal happen. It wasn't in the same day, but it was in the same weekend. And I learned a really important lesson here that I think gets lost a lot. A lot of times we think like, oh my gosh, we need to make money today, need to make money today, need to make money today. And make no mistake, I want to make money today too. Sometimes you have to slow down to go further. You have to think about how that comes off to the other party on the other end. If it's genuine and it comes from a place of like, hey, look, I just want to help genuinely. And that's not like you're on top of them. You're breathing on their neck. Oh my gosh, I want to get this deal done. Like in this industry, we call that quote unquote commission breath. You don't want to be too eager. You want to go back and say, look, okay, what's their problems? And can I solve their problems? Can I solve their pain? And that's exactly what we did in this situation. I would love to have gotten the deal faster, but hey, look, even in the weekends, not too bad. But sometimes again, you got to know when to go and you got to know when to slow, right? And in this situation, we had to go back, build the trust, but we end up making it happen. It's a great deal that we actually purchased and we're going to end up selling on a wrap. We're going to end up making about $20,000 just from the down payment, and the cash flow every single month on this deal is about $850. So thank God the other wholesaler messed up on the pitch, and thank God we're able to find this deal. You can find these two. If you're stuck like, Matt, well, I don't have any credibility, I've never done a deal like this before, or like I would love to start doing these types of deals, you should be in the real estate circle. We actually have a credibility email in there that you can use. But irregardless, hopefully you get some value from this. You can see sometimes if you slow it down and you start building real rapport and real trust, these deals are easy to come by. Bye.